After retiring, I bought a quiet cottage in the woods to enjoy peace and nature. Then my son-in-law called. I thought buying that little cabin in the Wyoming mountains was the start of my peaceful retirement. Instead, it became the battlefield for a war I never saw coming. A war for my independence, my sanity, and the future of my own daughter. The keys to that cabin felt heavier than they should have. Resting in my palm as Rebecca, the real estate agent, beamed at me in her Cody office. "Congratulations, Mr. Nelson. You're officially a property owner in Park County," she chirped. Maybe she had just handed me the world. 40 years of overtime shifts, skipped vacations, packed lunches, 4 decades compressed into a check for $185,000, now converted into 800 square feet of timber and solitude, a good 12 miles from anything resembling civilization. I managed to thank you, pocketed the keys, and shook her hand, my fingers steadier than I expected them to be. The drive was exactly what I dreamed of. Highway 14, then roads that grew narrower with every turn. Pavement became gravel, then dirt. My phone signal dropped bar by bar, until it was barely clinging to life. I stopped at a tiny general store grabbing coffee, bread, eggs, butter. The clerk asked if I was visiting. "Living," I corrected her. She just nodded like I'd spoken some ancient wisdom. The last 2 miles climbed through a pine forest so dense the afternoon sun barely broke through. And then there it was. My cabin. I pulled over, cut the engine, and just watched. 4 elk grazed peacefully, barely 50 yards from the porch. They raised their heads, studied my truck, then went back to eating. One flicked an ear at a fly. I sat there for 5 minutes just soaking it in. No honking. No sirens. No voices bleeding through apartment walls. The cabin was perfect. Weathered cedar logs, a green metal roof, stone chimney, small yes but mine. I unlocked the door. The air smelled like pine sap and old wood smoke. One main room with a kitchenette. A tiny bedroom. A shower stall I'd have to enter sideways. Perfect. I unloaded my truck slowly, methodically. Tools on the pegboard, books stacked by subject, the coffee maker positioned for morning light. Every single item placed with intention, creating order from the chaos of moving. By the time I finished, the sun was lowering. I made coffee too late in the day, but I didn't care, and carried it to the porch. The rocking chair I bought specifically for this moment creaked under my weight. The elk had moved deeper into the clearing. A hawk circled overhead. Then I called Beulah. "Dad." Her voice, bright and immediate, instantly warmed my chest. "Are you there? Did you get it? Sign the papers this morning, honey. I'm sitting on the porch right now watching elk." "I'm so proud of you," she said, and the warmth in her tone was everything. "You earned this." 40 years, I sighed, sipping my coffee. 40 years I dreamed about mornings where I drink coffee and watch wildlife instead of highway traffic. "You deserve every moment of peace." She paused. "Cornelius has been so stressed with work lately. Sometimes I forget what peaceful even looks like." Something in her voice made me pause. "Everything okay?" "Oh, fine. You know how it is. Middle management pressures." She laughed, but it sounded thin. "When can I visit?" "Anytime, honey. You know that." We talked for another 10 minutes, her students, her garden plans, all the safe topics. When we hung up, I sat watching the sun paint the mountains orange and purple. The coffee had gone cold, but I drank it anyway. The phone rang an hour later. My parents lost their house. Cornelius didn't bother with hello. His voice had that flat, emotionless tone he used for conference calls. Full story on the channel. Link below. Click now and watch what happened next.